we're going to do today is we are going to check the lift pump to see if it's producing enough fuel pressure for the injection pump. And so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to tee into the line that goes from the lift pump. If you want to locate the lift pump, look for the primer. So from there, you've got your fuel in here. Primer's the lift pump, and then it comes out and it goes up to the secondary fuel filter. This is the first fuel filter, second fuel filter. And so that's where you want to check your fuel pressure. You cannot check it on the return side, check it on the inlet side. The fuel pressure amount is, well, the overflow valve is what determines how much fuel pressure you will have, dependent on what the lift pump can supply. But the overflow valve is right here, and a worn out overflow valve will, if the spring is weak in it, it'll cause low fuel pressure. And so that's one thing to take into account. You need to check that before you deem that your lift pump is bad. And so we're going to, as you can see, I've teed into it. We'll crank it up and we'll see what our fuel pressure is. This is just a fuel injection fuel pressure test kit. I mean, we're not dealing with 50 pounds of fuel pressure here. We're dealing with 20 or 30 pounds. So you don't have to go crazy, but I would put some clamps on your lines. That's just some Tygon fuel line that I had. I cut the original line off that was there. It was, I guess that Tygon stuff as well, the original. And I'll put it back with, I might put a regular piece of fuel line on there. I'll either put a regular piece of fuel line or I'll use that Tygon. I guess depending on the fuel pressure, and I need to see what that Tygon, what pressure is rated for. I'll probably put regular fuel line on there. I trust it more than the Tygon with fuel pressure because, I do have all the returns and stuff with Tygon, but the all this is not really under pressure. It's just returning, whereas this is a pressure line. So let's check it out. So as you can see, we had, it's bouncing around, which it does. It's not supposed to be steady. It does bounce like that. That's normal. And we had about between like 25 and 30 pounds of fuel pressure. And so to me, that says there's no issue with the lift pump. So that is not our issue with rough idle. If I didn't mention it, I've mentioned it in a previous video. I'm troubleshooting issues with rough idle on this, and I wanted to make sure the lift pump was good, and that tells us we have a good lift pump, and we can cross that off the list on stuff that could be causing the rough idle. So quick, easy test. I'm gonna go and put a piece of fuel line back in there, and then we will pick back up after that. And done. Just a piece of fuel injection hose. And we just need to spray this off. That way I can make sure there's no leaks. Some diesel on those lines. All right, I'm gonna start it up. We'll check for leaks and make sure there's no leaks. It would be nice to have a clear piece of line on there just so you could check for air bubbles, but I do have clear on all the returns, so I can check for air on the return lines. So it's not that big of a deal, but yeah. Crank it up and check for leaks. Looking good, I don't see any leaks. We're in good shape. So, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more.